Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I'm not Blake. I'm Ferris, stepping in the night for Blake as he's gallivanting Ron style across the country, for whom I just watched hours ago here in sunny Orlando play their last friendly match against Costa Rica, which was a 3-0 win by the English. And that's where Blake is as he watched the match in an England pub, watching Orlando City Stadium, so Inter and Co Stadium, with England playing there. Very weird. I was here. He was there. They were there. He was there. Very awesome. Weird.
Good for him.
But more on that a little bit later. And with me tonight is
Ron. I don't normally introduce myself, so
I don't know. I can't remember this. You always say, and we always
I'm always here with Ron.
Yeah, you're always here with Ron. But
I'm a little disappointed in Blake.
Why?
Because where's the man's commitment? I've called in from Asia, the Philippines, Norway, Scotland at 2 a.m. to record pods.
That's a fair point.
And this
SOB is
he can't call in at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
his
I've
time?
called from Dallas, right? They're doing a World Cup there. I've called from, not across the world, but I've called in.
Sure, that's
like
the exact
you beat
same.
me from like Iceland and wherever else you've done. But,
exactly the same. Yeah,
I agree. Well, anyways, on tonight's episode of the Brewtiful Game, the World Cup is finally here.
Hooray!
I was feeling like it was appropriate for a DJ horn. It's also in Canada. It's also in Mexico, with the first match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup taking place tomorrow as we're recording this on Wednesday the 10th. Happy birthday, Sister Dukes, a.k.a. Katie Ferris.
Yay.
But the first match will take place on Thursday, June 11th, between Mexico and South Africa at the famous Estadio Azteca in Mexico City. So by the time you probably listen to this pod, that match, and probably the second match of tomorrow, which is a late game, it's a 10 p.m. game here on the East Coast, would have already played, but not to worry. No matter where or when you pick up this pod to listen during these World Cup games, this ain't one of those true World Cup preview pods where we break down all the teams and tactics and chances and who's going out of the
so many other places do that.
EF meets D4 in the first semifinal. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So we're going to do it Brewtiful Game style. And what is that, you ask? Well, first up, our resident scientific traveler here, Ron, will take us through some of the interesting facts and tidbits surrounding this massive 48-team tournament. Then before the break, Ron and I will each give you our one player from every team to look out for across this tournament, as well as our dark horse team of the tournament. So not your favorites, not your ones that may not advance, but that dark horse one that you may or may not see coming, or that's not like the bookie's favorite, if you will. Then as the halftime whistle blows, the traveling tall boy of the technical talent and the 2 pints of the sour for soccer in the U.S., Ron, shares with us all the news that's fit to drink in a very special World Cup-inspired Ron's Beer News.
I can't wait.
And finally, we will that will actually flow very nicely into the second half of the pod, where for this edition of the La Liga's Roundup.
Where is it?
I don't know.
You don't have the whip. Oh, disappointing.
There it is. We will go around all of the 16 host cities and give you that city's top-rated local brew according to Beer Advocate, as well as some of just the more famous brews in some of the host cities. But first, our beer tonight.
So, we've done... As part of our normal tradition for World Cup episodes, we always try to pick a beer from one of the countries that is in the World Cup. And this one I picked such a great name because it sounds like the army leader from a bygone era, right? Okay. Crawl Lager.
Ooh. All right.
Is an authentic 4.7 ABV Czech pale lager brewed in Pilsen, Czechia.
Nice.
Or Czech Republic. Both of those are accurate. Produced by Staro Pilsen Brewery, is brewed using regional malted barley, pure artesian or artisan water, and locally grown Saaz hops, offering a traditional crisp Pilsner taste with a gentle British bitter finish. That's what I'm trying to say. The aroma is fresh bread or sweet golden malt and slightly spicy with some herbal noble hops. Flavor is slightly bready with a balanced profile of sweet malt and soft hoppy bitterness. Check out like the...
Oh, heck yeah. Look at that, dude. Yeah, you're right. That's a commander.
He's like a mean army general from
Stash and beard, long hair, the crown on top.
Yeah, it's like from, like the early Roman days kind of, general, right? That grizzled face. And
Yep. And it's really cool. This is what Ron picked up was a full 1.5 milliliter alcohol by volume, 4.7% bottle. So we're going to split this bottle.
Yeah. Had to crawl far and wide to find that. I actually did all of the shopping for you and me for the beers for all of the World Cup pods. Like I went to like 3 or 4 different beer places to get them. Some of them I don't have a lot of hope for, but some of them look quite good. If you want to crack that bad boy open.
I'll do it with my California Republic bottle opener.
There you go.
Host city for a few there.
I'm excited for this one.
I am too. I usually like the Czech pills,
Yeah. I mean, obviously one of the more popular ones, right? Pilsner or Kel, right? It's probably the most popular Czech pills.
That's the one that everybody would know.
Like anywhere.
Sure. Yeah.
But we've had that on the pod, and it only felt right to pick, ones that he can't find very much of.
Sure. Yes. Heck yeah, it smells just like a Pilsner.
It's got great head retention.
Sure does.
Oh, I can't wait to try this.
Heck yeah, good pours for both.
Almost like I took a class on it.
Yeah.
Or 7,000.
Cheers to the World Cup.
Cheers. Ooh. That's way better than I thought it was going to be.
Very smooth.
Super light. Much lighter than I would have expected for a European style Pilsner. Although they are very light, right? But this one is like, I don't know, it's got a really... The bready mouthfeel.
That's exactly
comes way at the
exactly
end.
what I was going to say. It's the bready that hits you at the end, which makes it feel fuller than it is.
Yeah,
but it still goes down nice and light and crisp.
Oh, this like I could drink
good call
a few dozen of these. Jeez, I probably could have drank this whole bottle myself.
Smells like a bready Pilsner. It's fantastic.
Super good.
Good call.
Yeah. All right. Shall we get into the World Cup goodness?
Sure. Why not? Some interesting facts here, man. Can't wait to hear them.
So I am typically the scientific nerd and the history nerd and the math nerd and all that. So specifically pulled from these facts and tidbits is exactly that. First thing we're going to cover are quick hits. First ever triple hosted tournament. No other World Cup has been hosted by 3 countries at the same time. Obviously, Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. Mexico becomes the first country to host or co-host the tournament a 3rd time. No one else has done it 3 times.
I know that.
The first ever surprise... What?
Super Size Me.
Oh,
you remember that thing was on Super Size Me? I'm like, we're in the States here, right?
Yeah.
McDonald's is doing the World Cup things. Like, it's Super Size Me, right?
Yep. So a supersized tournament, because everything's bigger in the U.S., 48 teams, which is up from 32 the past several tournaments, which means 104 matches will be played throughout the whole of the tournament.
A lot of matches.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
In what, 34 days? Something like that?
Well, it's somewhere coming up here, I think. Yeah, 39-ish or something. 38 days, 39 something. Yeah, it's wild.
The first group stage game is to be played tomorrow, Thursday, June 11th, with the last bit of group games to be played on June 27th. 16 days to complete the entire group stage of the tournament across 16 host cities.
Isn't that wild? And I think it's up from like 13. It was the max amount of days between the first group stage game and that last group stage game. But with 48 teams, more groups, that's what you get.
But they only added like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, it's wild. They're just packing them in. There's some days where there's 5 or 6 matches. Like, it's wild.
Assuming none of them get postponed or...
Well, yeah,
we'll get to that.
We'll get there here in a little bit.
And the FIFA World Cup final is scheduled to take place on Sunday, July 19th, some 39 competition days later, with the final match taking place at 3 p.m. Eastern in MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, which is home of the New York Giants and the New York Jets, even though they play in New Jersey, but we'll not get into that one.
Rick.
But get this. During the tournament, FIFA will officially be referring to the stadium as the New York, New Jersey Stadium. Good for them.
How simple is that? But MetLife's not one of their sponsors. So guess what you got to do? You got to take out MetLife
you
from
got
it.
to get rid of MetLife.
We were, at the
cover
game today.
the sign.
Oh yeah, you cover. That's exactly what happened at the game today. There, in Enter and Co, we have our various, advertisements up for Publix and Disney and this, that, and the other. But there was one covered up that was particular. I'm like, which one is that? So I had to go back and look at some photos. And it's actually Heineken was the one covered up because Heineken's not the official beer sponsor of FIFA and the World Cup and all that. So very interesting when I was writing some of this content because I was like, what the heck's the New York, New Jersey Stadium? I thought it was being played at MetLife. So I kept looking at it like I'm like, what the heck?
Where is this place?
Oh, FIFA's the one calling it that for this tournament, but it's not the name of what it's called. 300 and some other days out of the calendar year here in the States. So just interesting.
Yeah, there's plenty of that going around for the different stadiums. And you just kind of, as an American, right, you just got to kind of pay attention and figure it out. As a foreigner, you'd have no idea, right? Coming to watch the tournament.
Well, and to that point, it's people know what New York is. New Jersey is a lot more. So it's, do they know that it's technically in Jersey? It's those type of things.
And I don't think that it matters really, right?
No, it doesn't in the grand scheme of it.
It's just us that kind of make fun of that stuff.
Yeah, and just how FIFA kind of does these things is just, interesting because it's all, as everybody's fully aware, very monetary based.
What?
In terms,
no,
I'm
football first.
Football
brings the world together.
Sure, that's
right. Isn't that the FIFA slogan?
That's what I thought it was, but I could be sorely wrong on that one. But.
Well, what they say and what they do, right? Two massively different things.
But what was in New York for a while there that was associated with FIFA? Apartment of Cats.
That's true. All right, next thing up, travel. All right, so. Lots of distance to cover. The largest distance between host cities is 3,000 miles, which is between the northernmost host city of Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada, and the southernmost city of Mexico City in the capital of Mexico. Now, who do you think out of the host cities have the most who do you think out of the host countries has the most distance to travel in the group stage?
I would have surely, I know the answer, obviously, but I would have surely thought when I was looking this up, it would have been the U.S.
Yeah.
It's not, right? That's what's weird.
No, the reason, even before I read the content, I had figured that out because Canada has to fly from Vancouver, BC, from Toronto to Vancouver.
Right. So the men's Canadian national team is the one that's traveling that distance for these games because their games are only in those two areas. And Vancouver is on the other side of what we consider the States or the U.S. And if you haven't looked or you're not even sure, Canada's massive as well and covers that entire span. They're on the other side of that, right? So it's like going from a Seattle to a New York type of thing.
Sure.
In a way.
Yeah. So they are going to Canada's going to start their game in Toronto and then fly over to Vancouver for the two other group stage games they have. U.S. is next with 1,930 miles between Seattle and L.A. Altogether, that's
back and forth. Yeah, because it's accounting for that back and forth. Because I think first game's in LA, then the second game's in Seattle, and the third game's in LA. And I think it's similar to what Canada's doing.
Right. And then the least amount with Mexico at all 580 miles between Guadalajara and Mexico City.
They're not really going too hard. They're not really going too far when it comes down to it.
The only other thing about this in the mileage that's interesting is that Canada has to deal with the 3-hour time difference. Right. So they have a little bit of jet lag that they're going to have to deal with.
It's a good call. Yeah.
Right.
It's a good call.
The U.S. obviously does not, and neither does Mexico.
That's fair. Okay, that's a good call.
Now, other than two of the host cities, England have the most travel. So, like, if you look at the other teams in the tournament, not host cities, England have the most travel with 1,721 miles. Spain is next with 1,469, while Brazil rounds out the last of the 1,000-mile club with 1,094. So,
I think it's interesting because the England's travel is also partly done by themselves because they're based out of Kansas City.
Right.
They have a match in Dallas, a match in Boston, and a match in New York, New Jersey. So it's interesting that that's kind of the difference travel. But it a lot of these numbers take effect from not where their host city is, but from where that first match is being played and then thereafter.
Right. And look, the mad scramble for places to make your base camp, right? Like, it must have been absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
For all these people to try and figure out what is roughly centrally located to everything to reduce the travel, but then they booked it too late or they couldn't come to terms and someone else got it, right? So, like, the shuffle for base camps must have been insane.
And there's like 3 of them in Kansas City. I think it's it's the Dutch, them, and somebody else. England and somebody else. I don't remember who.
And they're at like, the funny thing is that they're like at,
one's at Kansas City Currents Stadium that's set up, and one's at the Chiefs, and one's at
but there are ones at like Messiah College, right? Mm-hmm. Like, these tiny colleges and tiny universities that are located throughout the various host countries. Mm-hmm. And I think that's pretty funny.
Right. And the selection on these kind of make, right? Because Kansas is more or less in the center of the U.S. But if they're not playing in Kansas, it's kind of weird. They just think it's, we're going to stay in a different time zone. That's going to help us out. Like, why not stay in Boston if you're England?
Yeah.
Travel from, one time to Dallas and back, and then you're just Boston to New York, and then you figure out from where it's there too. But if you're looking ahead and where you may advance,
right?
We haven't looked at that in depth on if you're to win your group,
where your next matches are
next match is going to be in that first round, assuming that you get out of that in whatever. But interesting.
So through all those stats, right, for travel, you might be thinking to yourself, that's a lot of travel. Au contraire, mon amis. Think back to the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. Not many people realize how massive Brazil actually is until you realize that the teams in the 32 team World Cup, hierarchy traveled a staggering average miles distance during the group stages with 7,054 miles. It compares roughly to 5,167 miles this year. That's massive.
Yeah, you think you're thinking, everybody's doing this right now. They're thinking of okay, what does South America look like on the map in my head?
It's that giant part that sticks out.
Yes, that's all Brazil.
Points, toward Africa,
Mm-hmm.
right? East toward Africa. That's a massive
Yeah.
part
Massive.
of that landmass.
Whew. How many Floridas can you fit in Brazil? Let's ask Google.
Probably, let's see.
And Florida, like we're not big, but we're long. That goes a different joke,
Easy there.
but you know what I mean. Yeah.
That's what you tell all the kids. How many Floridas can you fit in Brazil?
Yeah. Oh man, this is interesting.
I'm gonna say 47.
61 Floridas in Brazil. Brazil's area is approximately 8,515,770 square kilometers, while Florida's area approximately is a mere 670 square kilometers. So Brazil is roughly 61 times larger than the state of Florida.
And no, you never think of that.
No, you don't.
Never think of how big that place was.
That's
Or
wild.
is. Well, it's all because the Mercator projection map is absolutely terrible.
I'll believe you.
That's the globe that we all know.
Yeah.
And it's called the Mercator projection. And they simplified everything to make it easily fit on the map. And it's made for flat.
Right, not
curved.
Right.
Right. So when people say Greenland is so massive, but you look at it on the map, it's not very big at all.
Right.
When in fact, it's larger than Africa. But Africa takes up this massive, right?
spot
so
on the
like,
map because
so anyway, well, that's another podcast. Our complaints about the Mercator projection.
exactly.
All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room,
Sure.
which had many complaints from teams. Well, I should say clubs and fans.
And we had a little bit of it today. The
weather
match. Yeah, the match was delayed about an hour.
So this tournament is projected to be the hottest on record that the tournament is being played in,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Which is funny because you think, well, wait, in 2022 it was played in Qatar, right? But they played most of that at night.
And it was technically winter for them? Or no,
Right.
was that South? Yeah, it was winter.
Right. Because remember, well,
yes.
it was like, what, a December World Cup or something?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So it was cold or colder. Most of the games were played later in the day.
Yeah.
Right.
It was the one in South Africa that was played in the summer, which is actually their winter.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Then that was
That was Vuvuzela World Cup.
08, 09, something like that. I think it was 2008. Anyway,
Yep.
I digress. This tournament's projected to be the hottest version so far. It's projected that a large chunk of the games will be played in temperatures higher than 90 degrees Fahrenheit or 32, 33 Celsius.
It's like playing in Florida every day.
To varying levels of humidity. Yes.
Yes. To many
That's going to
levels
be
of humidity.
hot.
That's
Right? Think about these players playing all these games in 39 days. Like, that's going to be absolutely nuts. So, the good news is that every game is going to have a 3-minute hydration break in the middle of each half. So, they're going to be able to...
a mandatory,
Yeah, without question, right?
Not like, it's only
It's only-
78 today and
Right.
it feels like 85, so we're not going to do it. No, it's
Right.
every single game.
Yep. And Ferris, do you remember during the Club World Cup, I brought up a crazy scientific thing called wet bulb globe temperature?
How could I forget?
And you and Blake were like,
Like, what?
what the is that? Well, it's all in play in this World Cup. But so is the thunderstorms.
Yeah.
It's going to rain, folks.
Definitely happened today.
And we have stadiums in Tornado Alley,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you've got that to worry about. Like,
Games in Texas.
I mean, Texas is probably relatively safe since it's in a dome.
Sure.
But, I mean, fans getting there,
Huh?
getting back safely, right? All that is in play.
Games in Miami.
Yeah. Yep.
Atlanta. Atlanta's a dome, right? Yep. They're
Yep.
a dome. Most of the ones up north are not.
Right.
Seattle, it rains like all the damn time. So
Yeah. That's not going to be like thunderstorm problems, and Seattle doesn't get that hot. It gets hot there, but it doesn't. It's going to be nuts. The whole tournament's just going to be crazy weather problems, right?
I mean, we saw it at the World Cup last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the complaints when they're playing these games, and a lot of these host cities that they're playing in for this World Cup was how hot it got, and these random storms that came in through various times of the day and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Also, a point of contention was how the metrics by which games were delayed, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a very hot button topic. However, FIFA's not changing any of that, right? They're going to stick to the U.S., thunderstorm protocols that we have here. And it's not, it's announced that there's not a cutoff point. Right, that was a big point of contention for the 3
hours in. We're going to cut it off. No, that's not going to. There's no hard line there that they're going to set their foot down and go. We're calling this game now.
Right. For the thunderstorm protocol, right? They're essentially going to have to address this on a game by game basis in each stadium. Right, based on how the weather goes and how they're going to delay and when they're going to restart, all that kind of stuff, right?
And to be fair, it makes sense, right? Because you don't want to set a rhetoric of it's 2 hours, but then all of a sudden you can resume play 2 hours and 15 minutes. But now you've just canceled a game that you don't have to reschedule,
right? And
can you do that at that same stadium in the time period that you want to do it in? All of these logistical scheduling items that that they have to address. So the odds of being in a massive delay aren't necessarily all that great. So I think FIFA's playing their odds here and going, okay, we're not going to really have to deal with this too much, even looking at what the FIFA Club World Cup did last year.
Right.
How much are we going to have to reschedule besides maybe one or two if we even get to that point?
And that's a massive effort. Right. It's not as easy as like, hey, but everybody show up tomorrow because you've got to worry about security. You've got to worry about food. You've got to worry about alcohol. You've got to worry about fan transport,
the vendors, the marketing,
right? Like
and the whole
everything. Everything has to be realigned. Right. It's not as easy as, well, we'll just all show up tomorrow at the same time.
Right.
Right. So the thunderstorm protocol, what is that? Does people know? I think Americans probably do for the most part.
I did, and I didn't because we've been in so many games here in our co, and you're wondering, okay, you saw that strike of lightning, but what is the time period and what's the cutoff is what I didn't know. And this is more defined opposed to at what point you're going to call a game type of thing.
Right. I know this from working in dozens and dozens of stadiums in my career for special effects and stuff. But a fixture taking place at a stadium must be immediately suspended if lightning or an electrical discharge, right, of some sort, which is mostly lightning, is detected within an 8-mile radius of the stadium. So you get a lightning strike, everybody go seek shelter.
All right.
That's the deal.
If that strikes at 10 miles, you're fine. If that strikes at 8 miles or
everybody
below,
go home.
Yep.
Even though lightning laterally strikes at up to 33 miles. But you'd be canceling every game, right?
And you're playing the percentages there, which is very far and few between from even delaying a match. Very, very far.
Right. So from there, most of us know if you've been to a match at any of the MLS games, the staff and officials, staff and officials are led off the pitch, seek shelter in their respective dressing rooms, green rooms, and all the fans are to move to a safe area inside the venue, right? Packed like sardines for most of the time because the concourses were not necessarily meant to hold all of the fans at one time. Right. So have fun getting a beer or whatever.
Bathroom.
Right. Because it's all going to suck. So once the lightning strike has been detected within 8 miles, there is a countdown that starts 30 minutes.
So a half an hour.
Right. If time passes, if that 30 minutes passes without another strike, they will be more inclined to resume the game.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
If, however, a lightning strike happens at any point between T0 and T30, the clock starts over for every lightning strike. So when you have a good, big old red cell about 3 miles outside of the stadium,
You might as well not even start the clock.
you aren't getting any rain,
Right.
but you can look over there and see the dark clouds coming, Crawl the leader with his army in the sky, coming over to annihilate the place. It's basically restarting like every couple of seconds, right?
And guess what? If that clock goes from 30 down to 2 minutes left and there's a strike,
Start over
again.
Yeah. It could go down to 1 second.
Correct.
And it'll start over, right? What's funny about that is particularly in the Midwest, like Tornado Alley and all that, very energetic storms, very lightning heavy storms. In Florida, lightning capital of the United States, we're playing games in Miami. Guess what happens in the summer? All that onshore push from the ocean or the Gulf of Mexico creates crazy lightning storms.
And guess what? It really doesn't go anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
Like, those things normally sit there for a bit until they get back out to the water or something.
It's bizarre. So it's going to be quite a fun time with the weather. It's going to be a topic of the news all the time. I'm 100% certain.
You know, and you best believe that your Foxes, your Telemundos have, you know, your B-roll footages and all the storylines, and queue up this and queue up that and this player and exposés and all this, just in anticipation of it, right?
Yeah.
Some of it they probably won't ever use or need, but they're backing up the same way that this is going on. And with a lot of live hits and broadcasts and all these places, they may be out in it, or they may have to move their studio setup from an outside nice, you know, boardwalk or something like that. They're watching the game down there in Miami over to somewhere else.
Right.
Hard Rock's not really I understand it's in Sunrise. Yeah.
Right.
But
blah, blah.
Correct.
The interesting thing is that, you know, some of the reporters are going to turn into, who's that guy from the Weather Channel that always stands in the middle of the hurricane?
If he shows up in your city, you are
right. But he goes through and stands in the middle of the hurricane where, you know, the storm surge is up to his eyeballs.
I can see him. I'm trying not to Google it.
Trees are whipping past him. But anyway,
it's not Tom Renault. No, oh man,
all the Fox reporters.
Jim Cantore.
There he is.
I didn't have to Google it. You saw me. I didn't have to Google it. I thought
true.
of it.
Yeah, all the Fox reporters are going to turn into that.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be hilarious.
Oh, you know what I want? Zlatan to turn into one of those.
Oh, he just stands there and the wind decides to go around him. He doesn't get rained on.
He's not even wearing a poncho or anything.
There's only one Zlatan.
Absolutely, right. There is.
Absolutely.
You say that to Tornado Alley or to a hurricane that comes through, because guess what? We're in hurricane season starting very soon and within the World Cup.
June 1st.
Yep.
June 1st started hurricane season.
We are there. So, wow.
So those are your fun little tidbits. Little wet bulb globe temperature never hurt anybody.
Can you go over what the wet bulb globe temperature is again?
I can. So the wet bulb globe temperature is a measure of a person's exertion in heat. Right? So the idea is we all know that the temperature is, say, 95 degrees. We all know that the relative humidity is 76%. right? But that's not a very good way to tell how much a person is exerting when they are working in the sun, right? Or working in that heat and in that environment, right? So what this does, this scientific gadget, look it up. It is called the wet bulb globe temperature. The name just failed me. Sensor, and it takes the relative humidity. It takes the sun, it takes the temperature, and it whips a whole bunch of math together, and it says, if you are exerting yourself to these levels, this is the effect on a person, right? And it gives you a rating, and the ratings are all defined as, little to no exertion, major exertion, and each one of those categories has like the effects on the human body, right? Heat exhaustion in roughly X amount of time, right? Heat stroke is susceptible in this amount of time, right? So it's the current measure of how much exertion a person is doing in that environment and what the effects on them will be. Very long story short. If you want to look it up, or go back to the previous pod during last year's Club World Cup, we did a deep dive in it, and it was riveting. It was riveting for me. I don't know if anyone else cared.
It was very interesting, honestly, because for as many years as we've been on this earth or been in Florida, I've never once heard that. I mean, you're talking heat, humidity, the effects on the body that has, yada, yada, yada. Never once heard of that. So that's what was more interesting to me, that now it's not that, you talked about it, we heard it on the pod, but now you're seeing it in articles related to this World Cup.
Yep. You heard it here first.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but you did hear it here first.
Yeah, look it up. It's actually, if you're, in any way a person of the sciences, it's a very interesting way to do this. And so far, one of the only real credible ways.
All right.
There you go. Factoids and tidbits.
Thank you, scientific traveler. That, it's a lot of stuff that maybe you didn't, you knew you didn't know. You may have heard, you may not have heard.
Want to know.
You didn't want to know. All those things. But you will hear them talked about in this World Cup. When you turn on Fox, you turn on Telemundo, you will hear it. You will hear it talked about.
And I bet they'll even have segments where they use the sensor and show you what it spits out and charts and.
Yep.
Oh, I just got a scientific hard on.
Well, hopefully it'll complement the beer quite well. Because this crawl is good.
Oh, I have another one during beer news, so
can't wait.
A different beer.
Lovely. Can't wait, because I'm about done with this. Perfect timing. All right. Now we're going to move on to a little bit more of the soccer-oriented stuff, the things that's actually on the field. Now, like I said, we're not going to go through each group and whatnot. That's blasted everywhere. You just go to Instagram, social media, you'll find it, right? We're not going to go, here's Group A, here's Group B. We've done that before. We're not going to go through the tactics and who we think is all that. But what we will try to give you here is one player from each of the team or countries to look out for this World Cup. So when you turn on a game, when you're seeing two teams, these are players to kind of keep an eye on. I think we're going to have different ones.
We are.
So I think that's going to be...
I went a different route than I think you may have gone.
Right. But keep an eye on these players as you turn on the TV to watch these games. So, Ron, do you want to kick us off? And do we want to go alphabetical order? Do we want to go by group? How
alphabetical order.
Alphabetical order of the teams.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just easy.
Let's do it.
All right. I'll kick you off. Actually, I have it done by...
The groups?
No. I actually did it by location. So like the Americas, Europe.
Oh, okay.
Africa, Asia, and Oceania. So I don't actually... All right. So here's how
so-
we'll do it. I'll tell you the country. You tell me your pick because I have the more screwed up version.
Beautiful.
So Argentina.
Okay. Heard of them.
Everybody's going to say Messi,
Sure.
which is obvious. But what I did was I went to the players that are a little more quiet in the ensemble or in the background. And when they get their chances and they're come in as substitutions, these players are going to make the most of it. Right.
Okay.
So Nico Paz, he plays in Como in Syria, and he's a creative midfield talent with just exemplary technique. He's so fluid, so easy. And I think the second they give him minutes from, an injury or a substitution, he's going to make a spot for himself.
Okay.
Who did you pick for Argentina?
Argentina's a weird one, right? They won the last World Cups. They did a lot of that off of defense and their goalie play. Lautaro Martinez, Alex McAllister, Messi, Enzo Fernandez, some of those players. I think what's going to be interesting because we haven't seen it in a while, and he was called in, and you remember the season that he had this year with Spurs. That's Christian Romero. I think he's one player to watch from a standpoint of, is he going to get sent off? He's going to have a hot head. Is he going to perform the way he did it?
Right. Yeah.
But he also hasn't played a lot during the end of the run here. So if he gets some run out in defense, and as far as I am aware, he should be starting games. He is one for me to keep an eye on and watch throughout this tournament.
Yeah, agreed. All right, next country, Brazil.
I've heard of them as well.
Yep.
You're just firing right off of it.
Yeah, why not? I think the person to pay attention to, aside, you have all the stars,
Sure.
star-studded lineup.
Absolutely.
A lesser-known player, Rayan, from Vasco da Gama.
Yeah.
I think you should pay attention to him. He plays in the Brazil League, like I said, on Vasco da Gama. An incredibly fast, unpredictable winger. He plays such an interesting style of 1v1 attacking. He just goes after space, right? They get him the fastball up the line, and he goes after it. And he's hard to predict. It's not like he always cuts inside to kind of go for the shot. It's not like he always goes to the end line to get the cutback cross, right? Sometimes it's early crosses. Sometimes it's a cut inside with a play on the overlap. He's a chaotic, speedy winger.
And you said he played for Vasco da Gama. Didn't he play with Bournemouth this past year, though?
Maybe he did.
He did.
Maybe he did.
I think he came from Vasco da Gama, but he played for Bournemouth this year.
Was
he had
there
5
on
goals,
loan?
2 assists, 15 matches. Was it a loan?
Maybe that's why I thought it was.
Yes.
Okay.
But yes. So but 19 from Brazil, came from Vasco da Gama, was born in Rio de Janeiro, but had a great season for Bournemouth this year with those 5 goals and 2 assists. As we're talking through this, I had one, but I thought, well, this is more Man United heavy. I think the interesting player to watch out for is a guy by the name of Neymar Jr. Because Carlo Ancelotti's surprise being brought in left out names like João Pedro and some of those names up front. He's playing down in Brazil. Been spotty down there at best in terms of form and the rate that he's kind of been doing things down there since he left PSG. But he's liked in that squad. You can look at him in more of a leader way. So far in the Serie A, Santos down there, 8 matches, 4 goals, 3 assists, not bad, but also 5 yellow cards. So he's not a spring chicken anymore. He's 34 years old. Yes, that Neymar.
I mean, most of Brazil is not.
Yeah,
right. They're kind of at the end of their
that
cycle.
Neymar, you watch as a kid playing for Barcelona, right? He's 34 years old now.
Yeah.
Like, he's no longer a kid. So to see what kind, is he going to start games? Probably not. We'll see what he comes in off the bench, and the Brazilian flair, everything that's added into it. It's going to be interesting.
See how much he rolls around on the ground.
Hey, listen, that
What,
Neymar roll was
2 World Cups ago.
Oh yeah, that was the one in Brazil.
Yeah, is this like rolling around half the pitch?
Oh yeah, yep. So
All right.
that's my player to watch for.
Sticking in the Americas, Canada is the country we're going to look at.
Oh, Canada.
I'm going to say out of, you have, Davies, and you have a bunch of other relatively well-known Canadians. I'm going to say Nico Seeger. He plays in the Croatian team for Hajduk Split. And
God bless you.
Thank you. He is a slowly rising star, versatile from a positioning standpoint, but he is one of those rare players that has great vision in playing through the midfield. He can see those passes, he can see those distributions, and he is well versed in playing in the midfield. So I think he is going to be the one to watch for Canada.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with the former Orlando City guy, Kyle Aaron, up front for the Canadians. See what kind of goals he can put in. Spent a year at Southampton. I think he just left Southampton. But 18 matches, 8 goals, an assist. I think if you're getting him on the ball and in the box, he can be deadly. If you pair him up, you have a pretty good attacking core there with Canada, from a Jonathan Davey to a Tajon Buchanan, some promising players. My backup to this in that forward group, though, would be Promise David. He's been on the Canada radar for a while. Last I knew, he was playing in Turkey. I'm gonna double check that right now, but he speedy, talented, bit raw almost when you see some of the things that he's doing. He's in the Belgium league. I don't know if he's going to start, but a young kid that I think can make an impact coming off the bench in games where they might need a late goal and to get in behind the defense. So look for him. I think it's a lot going to come down as can Canada score, and can those forwards get on the ball, because they're talented.
All right, next up, Colombia.
Colombia.
Colombia. What a great, great team. Also, a bunch of well-known players. I'm going for Jean Arias.
Okay.
From Fluminense. Also in the Brazil League. He is probably, in my opinion, the most underrated player outside of South America. Meaning, like, he's a South American player, and everyone outside of South America underrates him, right? Because he doesn't have a lot of exposure. He hasn't hit a bunch of the major leagues, the major soccer leagues around the world. He's playing in Brazil. The guy creates chances. And he creates, it's not like half chances. 1v1 or hold up play. He gets a give and go, and suddenly he's in the box going after these just chances that you didn't see being created out of nothing, right? Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be a good one to watch.
Nice. When you talk Colombia, James Rodriguez comes to mind. He just always does so well when he plays it. But that's not going to be mine. Mine's going to be a former Liverpool player, won the Bundesliga this year with Bayern, and that's Luis Diaz. I think this is his World Cup for Colombia, where we've seen it at the club level. We understand that speedy winger, goal scoring, creating chances, getting in the box, having a threat to the defense in there. This is his time. This is his World Cup to come good and kind of pass that James Rodriguez mantle off to him. If he can bag goals, if he can create those chances, he can win Colombia games, that mantle is going to be officially passed to him.
Sure. All right, next up, Curacao. I can't remember when they were in a World Cup last.
That's because this is our first time, right?
I think so.
I believe you're correct.
I'm going to go with Livano Comenasia.
Say that 5 times fast.
Is in he's playing in Juve B, but in it's like Serie C, so it's like the third level of Italian football. He is a super technical midfielder, and he was developed in the Netherlands. So he's got that kind of hard-nosed football with a very capable, skillful, and technical midfielder that can boss the center of the pitch for Curacao. Whether or not anybody else around him is going to do anything is a whole different story. But watch out for this kid, because I think he's going to, while I don't expect Curacao to do very much, I think he's going to be an enjoyable watch in that team.
And that was who again? I'm sorry?
Curacao.
No, sorry, the player.
Oh, Livano Comenasia.
Livano Comenasia. I'm going to go Sante Hassan. Again, a Dutch out of that kind of youth there. A graduate of Ajax, a midfielder for Middlesbrough, of all places. And, like a lot from Curacao, was born in the Dutch, has competed at under 17s and that sort of thing, World Cup. And I think you look at what Middlesbrough did this past year in the championship. He is a strong midfielder that can play in a lot of games and big games, because the championship is a dredge, and to be stuck in that midfield for that allotment of games, and where they got to go as high up in the playoff places that they did, they could keep an eye out for him.
Awesome.
And a shout real quick to the brothers, Janino Bacuna and Leandro Bacuna, the brothers of Curacao.
Yeah.
Both midfielders as well.
All right, so we're going to have to rapid fire some of this. We're going over. So Ecuador, right? Another team to watch in general, right? Kendry Paez. He's joining Chelsea from Independiente del Valle. He plays in the Ecuador Serie A, and I think you're going to see him in the Premier League, or maybe in Serie A or Bundesliga. That's what I was trying to say. He's just one of South America's biggest up-and-coming teen talents. Chance creation, smart on the ball, technically gifted. He's one to watch even after this tournament.
Moises Caicedo, I'll stick with Chelsea. he you know what he does in the Premier League. You know what he does for Chelsea. He is going to be that pin in your clock that just helps the wheels turn.
Yeah,
that's him,
without question.
And then he's going to need to have a big tournament for Ecuador to do much of anything in Group E there.
Agreed. All right, Haiti.
Haitians.
This player is playing in Maccabi Haifa. I'm sorry if I'm destroying the Israeli Premier League team names. But this Franzi Perot, physical striker, he bullies even the best of defenders. His hold-up play is incredible. Haiti for you.
Haiti for me. I mean, I had one and I lost it. But I will go with Wilson Isidore. A big lad, plays for Sunderland. That's where you'll know that name. Committed to Haiti back in March. is not the biggest, but he's quite lengthy and tall. Used to play for Zenit in St. Petersburg. Good signing for Sunderland this year to get them to where they are and play in Europe. So if he bangs in the goals for Haiti, he can be a threat, and he's kind of a threat to any team that doesn't take him seriously. Wilson Isidore.
Good shout. It's funny, you have been naming some relatively more well-known people, and I went the other way, like, who's the sleepers in the tournament?
Fair enough.
Mexico. I'm going with Gilberto Mora from Tijuana in Liga MX.
The young kid, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Youngest in the
Just
tournament, right?
Great player. Just incredible playmaker. Links up well with his teammates, and just he's turning heads already. You're going to see him go well far in his career. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the tournament.
You keep, you're going like a lot of. I guess I'm going midfielders too, but this tournament comes down. You got to score goals to advance.
Yeah,
you got to score goals to win. So I'm going to go Julian Quiones. I think he plays down there in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. But this name I know from tearing up people in FIFA because of his pace. It's just what he can do is insane. He got to move to the Saudi either a year or two ago, and he's playing for Al Qadish. And listen to this stat in that league. This in 2025-2026 season. 31 games, 33 goals, 4 assists.
Nice.
He keeps banging those in for El Tri like they want him to.
Yeah.
Real Jimenez, who? Like, he's the one that could do some serious damage up that wing.
All right. Panama. I'm going Jose Luis Rodriguez from FC Juarez, also in Liga MX. Another fast winger that technically gifted on the balls, seeks out space, and is really good at stretching a defense.
I'm going to go Ishmael Diaz forward for him. Was a prodigy of theirs for, a while. Played over Norway's top flight, and again, goals get you advance. And if he can kind of get this team going, it's not going to be easy. Their group's not going to be easy. He's currently playing for Club Leon down in Mexico. So I think that helps him a bit from playing against some big center backs that like to rough up people. And I think he's, his goal scoring and what he's been able to do down there, I think he has a chance here to do some stuff for Panama.
Next up is Paraguay. I'm going Diego Gomez, who is a Brighton player in the English Premier League.
Oh, yeah, that's where I know that name. Yeah.
Yep. Just a high-energy midfielder, covers everything. You can count on him, plays smart passes, and has a good vision of the field. So I think he's going to be fun to watch in Paraguay.
Mickey Amron. The Atlanta United player that we used to play over in Newcastle, right, hasn't quite been that good since his return to Atlanta, which is a good thing, and I don't mind hearing that. But from a Paraguay team that kind of needs a little bit of that creativity and a little bit of that burst, he can bring that. And also another shout, Brian Ojeda of Orlando City.
Yeah.
Will be in the midfield there. So it'll be very, very interesting. I believe their first game is against who?
The USA?
It is.
Yeah. Next up, the USA. I'm going with the former Orlando City player in the MLS, Alex Freeman.
I like it. I like it.
Currently
Good
playing
shout.
for Villarreal.
Yeah.
Just an athletic right back with
he's
serious pace and a lot of energy to get himself into scoring positions, taking the ball to the end line so he can get it into a cutback cross.
Mm-hmm. He's been starting a bunch too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good one to watch, and he's gonna be exciting to watch, and just happy that he's there. He's featured a lot in Pacha's squad, and he likes the kid a lot. It's fun to watch here in Orlando. Bombs forward, able to get back, good defender, good with the ball at his feet, the whole nine. I'm going to stick with the back line. Chris Richards, center back from Crystal Palace. A little bit of fitness concern there, but came out today, and he's fully all set to go. That's a big boost of that back line there. Big boost, because he's been crucial for Palace in their win of the Europa Conference League this year, which he played and was a little bit injured in that one, but still played through it and played out it. And then obviously they won the FA Cup last year as well in that squad, and kind of a mainstay, right? You get rid of Gahey from Palace, and he's been the main guy there as a center back. Yeah. I think him being fit is a big win for the U.S.
And provides a bunch of consistency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the that kind of shout that I had last week too, of that Balagoon is another one that should be starting most every game and up front there. And hopefully he can get some goals. But Chris Richards be one to absolutely watch.
Rounding out the Americas, finally we have Uruguay. And I am going to pick Luciano Rodriguez from Bahia, playing in Brazil. Another physical forward, great hold-up play, great on the turn with the ball at his feet, technically savvy, and is a really good shot placer. I should say he's accurate. That's a better way to say that, right?
Fair enough.
Just if he's trying to put it across the keeper, he's going to get it across the keeper. Whether or not that's going to perfectly go in or not every time, but just a savvy, tricky, accurate player.
Yeah, I there's a few for me that I want to go with here, but like one that I think about, because we didn't see him a lot for United this year, and he hasn't been particularly great since his move, and I wanted him to be good, is in the midfield of Manuel Ugarte. And he's always been good for Uruguay in a midfield that consists of a Bentancur and a Valverde, and De La Cruz at times, but he gets in there and he gets playing. It's going to be curious to see how if he can become that kind of mainstay number 6 for those teams to push Freddie Valverde a little bit more up the field. Mm-hmm. And then the other one that I was thinking about is Darwin Núñez. Oh, you might have forgot about him, right? But playing over in Saudi, and to be honest with you, I don't know the type of season that he had there, so I'm gonna look it up real quick. He only played 6 games, 3 goals and assists for Al Hilal, so not the best season. I don't know if he was dealing with injuries or whatnot, but he's one that was a divisive character at Liverpool.
Boy, was he.
And
came out firing and then just kind of faded off.
Yep, so let's see if he can kind of sway the hearts and minds of their Uruguayans here in this tournament.
All right, moving over to Europe, Austria. I'm going with Leopold Kerfeld. He plays for...
Isn't he the guy that started World War? No, I'm just kidding.
No, that was the Archduke.
That's what it was.
The assassination of Archduke Leopold Ferdinand. The club that Leopold plays for is Rapid Wien, and he plays in the Austrian Bundesliga. He is an incredibly gifted center back with the ball at his feet. You feel like he's a number 9 or a number 10 for the style he plays at center back, weirdly enough. But the other thing is that nothing rattles this dude. His composure on the ball is incredible. Whether he's being pressed in a high press situation, whether he is being pressed by more than one or two. He's just cool as you like. And that's really good for a center back, right? Having that cool, calm composure, doesn't panic. He's going to be a fun one to watch.
Absolutely. You know who I didn't know was their manager? Ralph Rangnick.
No way, Ralph Rangnick.
Did not know that.
That's awesome.
I was like, holy mackerel. I did not know that he was the Austrian manager. But I'm looking at Christopher Baumgartner, RB Leipzig midfielder, a little bit more on the attacking bunch, but 33 games, 13 goals, 9 assists, 10 yellow cards in the season. Very solid season for him. RB Leipzig still, no matter how many people they offload and sell, still
Great team.
They are hard to play against in the Bundesliga and usually up there in the top six or so. So Christopher Baumgartner.
Okay.
You know what's cool? There's an article over on the Athletic that has these top players for the World Cup. Go next to their name. There's a little speaker icon.
Oh yeah,
It'll
you can
pronounce the name for her.
listen to their names. Yeah.
Should have done that with some of these teams. Oh well.
All right, next one, Belgium.
I've heard of them.
Yep, they usually have a pretty good squad. They have a incredible coach. I'm going with Arthur Vermeerenen from Atletico Madrid. He plays obviously in La Liga. Midfield controller. Oh, if there is a dude that reminds me of Moises Caicedo or Conte from Chelsea midfielders, it's this dude. Cool, calm, collect, great vision, plays smart passes. Good one to watch.
Fair enough. Jeremy Doku for me. Man City forward.
Yeah.
Had himself a great season with them. And yeah, you heard me say it. Goals, that's needed. Now, does he score a bunch of goals? No. But he is such a threat to the backs on any team.
Yeah.
He takes them to the line. He can cut them back. He can burst pace. He's strong. He's powerful. He can get by on a pure just holding somebody off. And if he can create, on the wings and produce goals in the box by doing that, and then every now and again, he'll hit one. He'll curl one in. He'll find himself in those positions as well. But he's just such a threat to the back line that he needs to be that in this tournament.
Next up, Bosnia.
And Herzegovina?
I am going to butcher this poor player's last name because it's mostly consonants, and I apologize. Esmir Bajraktavarek. He plays with the New England Revolution in the MLS, and he is a fearless 1v1 winger that just goes after people. Like, just gets the ball on the corner, rolls inside, and just bullies defenders around.
Who does he say he plays for?
Doesn't he play for the New England Revolution? Or is he here on
Used
loan
to.
somewhere else?
He used, played in the Eredivisie.
Okay.
Because he's mine as well. It's the first one we have. I watched an interview with him on the Golasso show, the morning show they did. U.S.-born kid, real family ties, father and that sort of thing to Bosnia Herzegovina. But a young kid and just kind of a young stud that chose to play for Bosnia Herzegovina. He talked about getting into the team and the Man City striker for years, Edin Dzeko, sorry, and how he was like star-studded, and he was like kind of his idol as he grew up. But yeah, this kid's going to be fun to watch, and I hope he comes good in this tournament as one of like the bright young stars.
Yeah. All right, next, Croatia. I'm going with Luka Vuskovic, loaned from Tottenham to Hajduk Split, but he is a Tottenham player on the books. Teenage corner, just smart, cool, calm, collect, makes good choices, can boss that back line, and can also get up for some interlink playing to spring a winger or to spring a midfield player into a real attacking threat.
This is not the same Croatia squad that took what was it, France a few years ago to the finals.
No.
Who did they take? Spain? No, they took somebody and they got second.
Yeah.
Dutch? I don't remember. I thought it was France, but I could be wrong. But anyways, it's not quite the same. They're a little bit younger, a little bit older days. The Ivan Perisic or Luka Modric is in his 40s, that sort of thing. But I'm looking at Marko Pasalic, Orlando City player, see if he can get an impact at all. Not off to the best of seasons so far this year, not like he did his first season with us last year. I don't know if he's going to start every game. He probably won't, but he could be a threat off the bench. He has a patented move that you'll see, or he'll cut in and he'll just try to curl it with his left, and that's it. And if players can stop it, great. If you can't, he usually puts the ball pretty deadly on net. So definitely be all eyes on an Orlando City player here, and Marko Pasalic.
All right, next up, Czech Republic.
The beer we're having.
I'm going with Pavel Sulk.
Sure.
He plays in Victoria Pilsen of the Czech First League. He is an interesting midfielder because he's the guy that always makes the late run. So the corner comes in or the cross comes in, it bounces around a little bit, and then it bounces out to the top of the arc. And who do you find? Pavel Sulk with just a clean strike of the ball, and he's really good at finding himself those open spaces. He's going to be a fun one to watch as they create some chances.
Sure. And hopefully on the other end of those chances is Patrick Schick. Played for Bayern Leverkusen, has played there for years, and he's been linked to the Premier League a lot of times over the past few years, and I thought that United were going to sign him for a bit. But he 16 goals, 3 assists on the season for them, 30 years old, been around a bit, a left-footed striker at that. Big lad, runs the channels well, and I think he's going to need to be really firing on because he can score goals from his head, from his left foot, from his right foot, from inside the box to even a few outside the box. And I think he's just going to be expected to kind of lead that line for them, and hopefully he comes good because he's been a player in the Bundesliga for a while. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten to move away yet.
Next up, England,
who I just watched today.
Yep.
That was fun.
I'm going with the person we talked about over dinner, Marcus Rashford.
Okay, Rashy. Okay. And there's United kit to the game.
And the reason I think that is because he's on the upswing. He's had a few down years. This tournament is exactly the kind of opportunity he needs when he gets minutes to change games and to kind of help himself be the next iteration of the player he can be. Quick, smart, great instincts, puts the ball in the back of the net when he needs to, right? Maybe he's had a bit of a dip in form, although I don't know that his confidence was all there in that dip of form with the revolving door of politics and managers and all that kind of stuff. But I think this kind of tournament allows players to shed all of that stuff and play the game because they love it, and it gives them a sense of freedom that they used to have. And I think he can thrive under those conditions.
I certainly hope so. He's one of my favorites, and I want to see him do well. Harry Kane, yes.
Obvious.
Everything's on his shoulders. Everything's, he needs to score goals. He needs bangs and goals. But he's such a talented striker. Can drop back and collect and play others into play. Holds the ball up well. Move the channels. Move defenders. Do all those things. He is your complete number 9. But look out for Elliot Anderson, Nottingham Forest center midfielder that will more than likely get the start in there with Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham, offered a day from Man City to Nottingham for like 110 million plus another 20 with add-ons or something like that.
Yeah.
Big, homegrown talent, if you will, that a lot of expectations and a great year with Nottingham Forest to get them, far in their European. And it looks like he's going to get a big move away in the summer. So a big tournament will certainly help that move or make it look worse. But
Right. Yeah, exactly.
it's going to be one of the two things. But no, he's a player for sure. So
Okay, that moves us to France.
deadly.
Yep, I am going to go again. There, you could say your Dembelis and a roster full of people. I'm going with Douay.
Okay.
He plays in PSG on League One in France, the McDonald's Uber Eats League, whatever that is now. Just a bright attacking talent that you give him an inch in the squad and he takes a couple miles. Right? Fast, smart. I mean, what else do you need to say?
Fair enough.
Dribbling in tight spaces.
Yeah, this team's stacked, man. They're
Ridiculous.
Absolutely stacked. I'm going to go with Michael Olise.
Okay.
Bayern had himself a stupendous year for Bayern. Like an absolute, I haven't even looked up the stats, but like an absolute monster from, I watched him a few years ago playing for Palace in a lovely free kick that he scored against United at Selhurst Park. And now he just tore it up in the Bundesliga, in the Champions, in the Champions League. The guy is just a absolute beast. And, since going over to Bayern into 2024, 66 appearances, 27 goals. What he does to create, and that Luis Suarez, the aforementioned Kane, this may be a breakout tournament for him. That those that follow soccer know his name, but does the world know his name? And that could be a big one with France on how far they advance, and if he's a spotlight in that France team on their attack.
Sure. Germany's next up. I'm going with Lennart Karl from Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I like that
one. Bundesliga. Great young attacking talent.
Actually, he just get sent home?
I think he did.
For injury, yes.
Yes.
Lennart Karl. Did he actually?
He's a fun player to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Energetic, bright, fun to
watch. He would have. I think he just got sent home, if I'm not mistaken, for injury that he picked up prior to the U.S. game.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that's the case, never mind.
Yeah, he's no longer there. He picked up a knock and was sent home. I'm trying to think of who replaced him.
Who do you got? I'll look it up.
And I'm not sure. But for me, I don't know, because there's talent all over. But I think Florian Wirtz has to have himself a tournament. Not a good season with his big money move to Liverpool, and he's that kind of new age young talent that needs to break out for Germany. Amongst the Leroy Sanés, the Adam Menes, Max Byers, Kai Havertz, those are names that you kind of know, or they've been around for a bit, especially at the back, Joshua Kimmich and Rudiger and that sort of thing. But I think Florian Wirtz, name that obviously is a big name known in the world of soccer, but he has to have a good tournament, and he could be a real driving point for this German team, who in the past few tournaments have kind of been short on goals.
Gotcha.
And he needs to be that.
So you're right. He did get sent home with a muscle bundle tear in his left thigh.
I hate when that muscle bundle happens.
It's quite sad. And Asan Odrogo is the player who replaced him. All right. So Netherlands. I'm going to stick with the Chelsea faithful, Jarell Hato.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Plays in Chelsea. Calm, modern style defender. Smart choices. Always there when you need them. Sometimes has some rash tackles. Can be a little hasty. But overall, pretty solid. Who do you got in the Netherlands?
Yeah, I'll go over the other side of that. I'll go Denzel Dumfries. Great season for Inter. Probably going to Madrid by all reports now. So big money move in the summer if that happens. Plays that modern day wing back and is almost more of a left midfielder than he is anything, but he can really push those lines on the side and help to drive the Dutch forward. They have a plethora of attackers, from Cody Gakpo to Brian Bromley of Sunderland to Wout Weghorst is still in it, to Memphis Depay. Like, these are players that have been in it for a while, right? Even your Donny Malin, who got that move over to Roma from Villa and tore it up over at Roma. But Denzel Dumfries is one of those backs in this modern game that is a driving force for a team, the way that a Trent Alexander-Arnold was for Liverpool at times. Not so much for Madrid, but what he was for Liverpool. That's what Denzel's done for Inter and what he needs to be for the Dutch.
Next one, Portugal.
I've heard of him.
João Neves.
Yeah,
from PSG.
Shout. Yep, great shout.
Right? Midfield metronome. I mean, that guy is just great. What an incredible IQ.
Best midfield in the tournament.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll say it. I'll say it right now. They're going to be my dark horse team.
Portugal? Okay.
Because of that midfield. For me, the player to watch, and you may have heard of him, but CR7.
You think he's going to do anything?
Because he hasn't been good. In this Portugal team, in the Euros, in the past World Cup, he hasn't been good. But yet he's still on the team. He's still playing. So for me, it's going to be interesting to watch because of Is it just
because the manager doesn't have the stones to drop him?
Maybe. Maybe, but Roberto Martinez came out and spoke very glowingly about Ronaldo. But listen, he's still Ronaldo. And with this midfield, they can put that ball anywhere in the box with him on it. He's still deadly in there. And it's interesting to watch him because he's not the out-and-out winger that he was at United in the Madrid days. He's not that striker that he was towards the end of his Madrid days into the Juventus days, or even the second time back at United. It's he's more of a sit up front, try to put the ball in the back of the net. This team can get him that. So it's interesting. Do they play through him, at him,
or into space?
Or with him into space. So that's why he's my player to watch for what I think is a stacked Portugal team.
Next up, Scotland.
Oh, the Scottish.
I'm going with Lennon Miller from Motherwell in the Scottish Premiership. One of the only reasons Motherwell did so well this season is because he was on the team. Smart, energetic player, pushes the envelope, takes people on when he needs to, isn't he's calm under the press. I think he's going to be a good one to watch.
You know him. You love him. Lawrence Shakeland.
Oh, okay.
Of Hearts.
Yeah.
Bagged a bunch of goals this year. Was arguably, their player of the season. He's going to do the same thing for his home country in Scotland. Not an overly big striker, but a smart striker. Very, dare I say, Billy Sharp-esque on how he kind of maneuvers in that box and can kind of pop up and just poach goals at the right time. So come on, Shankland.
All right. Next up, Spain.
I've heard of them too. Wow.
I'm going with Fermin Lopez from Barcelona in La Liga. Another one of those goal threats because he's the late attacker, right? Finds those open spaces. The ball's pinging around in the box, falls to the top of the arc. There he is.
It's it's wild to say that the 18-year-old Lamine Yamal. Everybody's gonna know him. He's gonna be on a million adverts and talked about every Spain game and balls. But can he produce?
We'll see.
At 18 years old, you just dare say, can he take this tournament over the way like Mbappe did a few years ago? Can he do that? Is he going to be all that this hype is amongst a stacked Spain team?
Yeah.
But a lot of their hopes and goal threat is going to be off of this 18-year-old. So, Lamine Yamal.
All right, Sweden. I'm going with Hugo Larsson from Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. A brilliant box-to-box midfielder who puts the ball in the top tier. What else could you want?
And Zlatan's not available. Right, just make sure. Victor Gyökeres and Alexander Isak.
Which one?
I'm going to go Isak here because obviously a very underwhelming tournament season with Liverpool on his big money move. Sweden, since the days of Ibra, have lacked that goal scoring.
Sure.
So can he, along with a Victor Gyökeres, can they produce goals when they need it in this tournament?
Switzerland is up. I'm going with Johan Manzambi from SC Freiburg in the Bundesliga. Just a great creative forward who you can trust to provide hold-up play or to attack the defenders 1v1 and make a chance for himself.
Granite Xhaka for me.
No longer the red card stud.
Nah, he just carry on that what he did for Sunderland and just be that churning, be the way that Luka Modric has been for Croatia. Yeah, that just does a lot of stuff off the ball, good defensively, hold up play, good in space, ping a ball from A to Z. Like it's gonna flow through him, and he needs to be on his game the way that he was for all of the year for Sunderland.
Okay, last up in the Europe section, Turkey. I'm going to go with Kenan Yildiz from Juve in Serie A, Italy. Mm-hmm. Just a smooth as butter attacker.
That's a good shout. Arden Güler for me.
Okay.
The youngster at Real Madrid, a lot of promise. He's kind of cooled off as of late, but again, another young kid that he's going to need to produce for a Turkey A team that has your Yildirez's and a few up front there, but like Lamine Yamal, they're going to want to play through him, and they're going to want a lot's going to be on his shoulders to kind of produce in this tournament. So the Real Madrid youngster, let's see what he can do this tournament.
Okay, moving on to the continent of Africa, Algeria. I'm going to... This was a tough decision, I think, for me, but I'm going to go with Ibrahim Mazza from Hertha BSC in Bundesliga 2. Technical, attacking midfielder, and he's just fun to watch. He's got this kind of flamboyance to him.
Mohamed Amoura. Wolfsburg forward.
Oh, nice.
8 goals in 30 matches, not the best season for him, but he did lead the club. It was disappointing because they did go down in the Bundesliga and were relegated to Bundesliga 2 via the playoffs. But 26-year-old was top scorer at the first round in the African Cup of in AFCON. So one to watch to see if he can kind of be a different player than Riyad Mahrez, but link up well with them and put the ball in the back of the net to help propel his side forward through the group.
Gotcha. Cape Verde. I'm going with DeLeon Livramento.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing in Hellas Verona in Serie A. Swift forward. I mean, the kid's pace is incredible, and he's so direct, which I think is kind of lacking in the game. So it's going to be fun to watch him do that.
Ryan Mendez, Cape Verde, midfielder, as he's deemed Mr. Dependable for them. Their captain, most capped player, and record goal scorer.
Nice.
Needs to show up at the biggest time for a team that is jubilant to make this tournament.
DR Congo. I'm going with Noah Siddiqui from the Belgian Pro League, Union Saint-Gilloise. Midfield engine of the team. And he's tactically mature for the age, I think.
Okay. Johan Wissa.
Oh,
Forward of Newcastle, big move from Brentford. Not a very great season whatsoever. So he needs to have it in this World Cup if Congo want to go anywhere.
Ivory Coast, Yan Diamande from
great shout.
Los Angeles FC in the MLS. Speedy winger, really great in the transition.
I think, is he the one I'm thinking of that gets a move that might get a move to Liverpool this year from the Bundesliga?
Are they? Last I saw that there was talk about it, but I didn't.
Yeah. Amad Diallo for me, the Man United player. Not a great season. Played a bunch. Still young, footy, dangerous off the wing. But not a good season for United. So it's always curious to me, they don't have these good seasons like a Johan Wissa. Can they produce what they did at the AFCONs and do it on the world stage for their country to advance out of the group?
Good with Egypt next. I'm going with Ibrahim Adel from Pyramids FC. I just love that they have a football
Pyramids
called Pyramid FC. I love it. In the Egyptian Premier Leagues, he is an incredibly creative winger. The problem is Mo Salah is still on the team.
and you know where I'm going with this. Mo Salah, the player to watch for Egypt, because after everything and leaving Liverpool this year on this big world stage, can he produce?
I hope so.
He hasn't done a whole lot for Liverpool this season, but we know the type of player that he is. And absolutely one to watch for Egypt.
Ghana is up next. I'm going with Ernest Nwama from Lyon in Ligue 1, France. Just a pacey, direct person who's not afraid to take someone on 1v1. Fun to watch.
Likewise, Semenyo. Antoine says Semenyo. Formerly
funny.
of Bournemouth to Man City.
It's so funny who you pick and who I picked.
Yeah, no. But, a lot's going to be on his shoulders as well. He has to produce.
Morocco's up next. I'm going with Ayoub Bouadi from Lille in Ligue 1. Just an awesome midfielder. Young, really talented, and has nowhere to go but up.
Our friend Hakimi, the PSG player. He's that back in the game like a Dumfries that can really drive a team from that position. So can he do it again the same way that Morocco did it 4 years ago in Qatar and kind of surprise the world? So Hakimi absolutely won. Did we do Norway in Europe, by the way? Did we?
Yeah.
What did we do for? I don't remember. What did we do for Norway?
Yeah.
You sure we did?
Yeah. I did I did Antonio Nusa from RB Leipzig.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Where did I go?
I don't remember.
I don't think we did it.
Okay, Norway. Antonio Nusa from RB Leipzig
in
the Bundesliga. He's a great, energetic, tide-turning sub.
Okay. I'm not going Odegaard.
What?
Or Holland. I'm going Julian Rice and the Dortmund defender for Norway. They are quite good, and their team photo
Is awesome.
was awesome. With
Probably the
Viking
best
shape.
one.
Easily. That's how I know we didn't talk about him right there.
Okay.
Because we didn't talk about that. Anyways, back to Africa we go.
Senegal. I'm going with Ibrahim Mbaye from PSG. Young striker, physical striker, and really, really good on the ball.
Sadio Mane. Well, like Diaz, and move away from Liverpool. He's been doing good there in the Saudi league, and hopes and dreams kind of rely on him to produce and score goals. So Sadio Mane, one to watch for Senegal.
South Africa is up next, and I have to go with Mofokeng. He is a fearless attacking talent, but the fact that he plays in the South African League in the Orlando Pirates made it even easier to choose him.
Ronan Williams, the goalkeeper from Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm not saying that correct.
Mameledo Sundowns.
Mamelodi Sundowns, one of Africa's best keepers, a penalty saving specialist. He's going to have himself a big tournament because he's going to have to keep his team in some games. So that's my player to watch for South Africa.
Tunisia. I'm going with Hannibal
that was mine. Yep.
From Burnley in the Premier League. Just a
former Man United player too.
Awesome midfielder.
Yeah, it's can he keep his cool? It's going to be for me because he can get a little feisty and reckless.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was going to be mine as well.
Okay, last ones in Asia and Oceania. Australia's up first. I'm going with Lucas Harrington from Melbourne City in the A-League. A really smart young defender who's not afraid to make a challenge.
I'm going to go with the midfielder Jackson Irvine. Sounds like he'd be like a American player or something. I don't even know, but he plays for St. Pauli. And yeah, they went down in the Bundesliga as well. I'm very aware. But as a midfielder for them, he's going to need to be on his game. He's going to be as stout as he was for St. Pauli this year and as he was for Hull a few seasons ago. 33-year-old midfielder, by the way.
Now Iraq. I'm going with Ali Jism. And he's playing for Kaharaba. In the Iraqi Premier League. From what I understand, he's a regional star. Kind of, I'll say local boy, moved up, right? But just a smart all-around player, has a great vision, attacks space really well, and has a really good first touch.
Okay. Ali Al-Hamedi, over in the championship, Iraqi forward, to get to the Premier League of where he's coming up with Ipswich now is going to be awesome to see. And you're going to see him on your Saturday and Sunday mornings in the Premier League. And hopefully it's a good tournament for the Iraq team. And he's a name that you'll remember.
Next up is Iran. I'm going with Mohammad Ghorbani from Sepahan in the Persian Gulf Pro League. He is an absolute anchor in midfield. Smart, plays a well-balanced pass or well-weighted pass. And I think if they have a chance of going anywhere, it's going to be through him.
See, I think that's going to be Mehed Taremi, the forward. He's playing Portugal. Could be on the move to England if reports are true, but was playing in Olympiacos as of late. And I don't think they're going to score a whole lot of goals, but if they do, it's going to go through this guy.
All right, Japan's up next. I'm going with Kaito Nakamura. Plays for Reims in League One in France. And another one of these direct 1v1 attacking wingers. Contrary to most of the wingers, he actually puts the ball in the net.
Well, that's like the other guy that doesn't do it as much, and that's just Takfusa Kubo. Real Sociedad over there in Spain. Great with the ball at his feet, just speedy, explosive. His crossing is not particularly great. Goal scoring average is not particularly great, but also a pretty good defender when he has to track back. So let's see if our two guys can mesh and push Japan forward at all.
Next up is Jordan. I'm going with Yazan Al Naimat, and he plays for Al Ali Doha in the Qatar Stars League. Clinical striker. I think that's the best way to sum him up.
I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't know. I
didn't do any research?
Not on Jordan. To be honest with you, I kind of forgot that they were in the tournament. So I'm going to say ditto, and I'm going to go with you rather than make up some because
that's fair.
I don't know this one.
Okay. South Korea. I'm going with the Stoke City player, Bai Jun Ho. Another midfield, super creative, very technical, and Stoke plays a lot through him. I think he's going to be awesome in the tournament. I don't know about the rest of the team.
That's why I'm going on Kim Mi-yeon, Bayern Munich defender, big center back, just a monster at the back, and he's going to be needed in this tournament to keep them anywhere near going through to the knockout rounds.
New Zealand is up next. I'm going with Ben Old from St. Louis City in the MLS. Smart attacking midfielder, great vision, decent passing, not all that good at the attacking portion.
But you know who is?
He can just sit in the midfield and ping balls all day.
You know him. You love him. Pod favorite, Chris Wood. He better just absolutely head some balls in and just nail the back of the net, because that might be the only thing that keeps them going. Not the season he had 2 seasons ago for Forest, where he was like up there in the Golden Boot race. Fell off it a lot this past season.
Yeah. So
he needs to get that form back, and he needs to get that form back quick for New Zealand.
Next up is Qatar. I'm going with Ahmed Al-Rai from Al Dual. They plays for the in the Qatar Stars League. Just a young defender doing everything right. Makes good decisions, knows when to jockey, knows when to step in, usually in the right place at the right time. He's going to be a fun one to watch.
Akram Afi, also Al-Saad forward, a tricky winger, and 2-time Asian Footballer of the Year. Just can make an impact, can be burst of speed, not the fastest, but can do a lot with the ball at his feet and kind of trouble the defenses. So they're going to need him if Qatar want to kind of do much of anything and produce creative chances in this tournament.
All right. Saudi Arabia. I'm going with Firas Al Burakan. He plays for Al Ali in the Saudi Pro League. And this is a striker who will put the team on his back and create big moments. He got some time in the last World Cup. I particularly recall him playing some minutes when Saudi Arabia beat Argentina in the first match of the group stage for both of them. right? He's going to be a fun one to continue to watch.
Al-Jashari, he's the one that just scored some goals and they synced Argentina and was kind of that person who shocked that 2022 World Cup from his goal scoring. Al Hilal forward, he's going to turn 35 during this, but he's one best Saudi player. He's become the league's all-time assist leader this past season. 15 goals, 15 assists for Al Hilal, who finished in second. Is just a monster up front, and yes, you know that name from last World Cup because of sinking Argentina and how well they did. So, Salim Al-Dashari is my player to watch.
All right.
For Saudi Arabia.
Last one, Uzbekistan. I'm going with Abuzbek Feyzuleh from CSKA Moscow in the Russian Premier League. I think he's probably one of Asia's most exciting attacking players. Bright on the ball, energetic, creative, has a good right foot, has a good vision for hold-up play. I think he's a good one to watch.
The 20-year-old that made his debut for Man City last year on Big Money Movie. Like, who is this person? Butcher this name. Kuzanov is his last name. His first name, Abdu Kadar. Abdu
Kodir.
Abdir Kodir.
Something in that.
Abdu Kodir.
If you're pronouncing
Kusanov.
it, we're sorry. We were so close. I was close.
You were a lot better than I was. Thank you to The Athletic for that. But yeah, I mean, big defender, played a majority of the games this year and was much better second season for Man City, and Pep trusted him a lot. At only 20 years old, he's a center back that is going to be called on a lot because they're going to be under so much pressure during this tournament. But a big, strong lad at the young age who would not be afraid to get into any sort of challenge or a tackle. So he's the one for me to watch with Uzbekistan.
Heck yeah. I like that you went more mainstream players.
Yeah.
And I went kind of hidden gem players.
Sure.
It gives you a different perspective.
Mm-hmm,
I like it.
Because you could be turning on the TV and you'll see, oh, that's Antoine Semenyo. I know him.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know he played there. You know, and these sort of things that you know that you've seen a Ryan playing for Bournemouth. Is that the same one? Is this the one that's playing for Brazil now?
Right.
Sure is. Right? Those sort of things. So cool. Who's your dark horse team? I said mine during this, which is Portugal.
Ecuador.
Ooh, that's a great shout.
Yeah,
okay.
Ecuador for me.
Interesting.
Again, Boston the midfield.
Interesting. Okay. What makes you say, what do you think do you think they're going to get out of the group?
Yeah. I think they'll get out of group. I don't think they'll go
Germany,
much further
Curacao, and the Ivory Coast. Okay.
Yeah.
I
think
it.
their
I
hardest
think
I think their hardest opponents are going to be the Ivory Coast. Germany is very inconsistent.
Yeah, and they can rough up Germany a bit too. Yeah, we'll see. That's a good shout from you. It's a very good shout for you. Do you want to get going on the beer news while I grab the other beers out of the fridge?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll rip through this pretty fast. We are almost at a 2-hour pod. We're like, oh, we'll be on time with this one. Wrong answer. Okay. So I went and picked the top beers from the individual countries since the last World Cup, right? So the beer and the style and where it's brewed, right? So in Europe, we're going with Austria, and that is the Ottakringer Helles, which is a Helles lager brewed in Vienna. It's Vienna's largest independent brewery, which is super cool. Belgium, the most popular beer there is Jupiler. It's a pale lager brewed in Jupille-sur-Meuse. It's the Belgium's best-selling beer, despite the country's legendary beer tradition. Croatia is Osojujsko. It's a pale lager brewed in Zagreb. And most football fans in Croatia, I am told by a Croatian, have that in their hands during football games. The Czech Republic is obviously Pilsner Urquell. England, Carling is apparently. It's not the most celebrated, but it is one of the bigger selling beers for soccer games. Is pale lager, brewed.
I was not expecting that.
Yep, brewed in Burton-upon-Trent. In France, the good old standby Kronenberg 1664. You gotta love that one. Such a good pale.
Who doesn't
lager,
love Kronenberg?
right? Germany. I mean, Germany is known for some beer, right? Kronbacher Pils.
Okay.
German Pilsner, crisp, dry, representative of kind of modern take on German Pilsners. The Netherlands, unfortunately, Heineken. I only say unfortunately because I really like it when it's like some obscure beer you've never heard of, because it makes me want to go there and try it. But this is Heineken, one of the world's most recognized beer brands. Norway. I apologize, Norwegians. I'm going to destroy this one. I think it's Ringnes.
Sure. That's not what you get when there's something,
You just leave that in your.
Fair enough.
It's a pale lager brewed in Oslo. It's Norway's largest beer brand. Portugal, we're going with Superbock Pale Lager brewed in Porto. It's a fierce rivalry with Sagres. But the two, it's like Modelo and Mick Ultra right now.
Okay.
Just snubbing each other off. Scotland, you know it. You love it. Tennant's Lager. Oh, so good.
Nice.
So good. A national institution in Scotland.
Why not? Absolutely.
Spain, we're going with Cinco Estrellas, which is 5 stars. It's a lager from Madrid. And I mean, every time I've been in Spain and you go to a tapas bar on a football night, that's what we're drinking.
Interesting. What are we drinking from Spain right now, though?
This one is the 1906. Let me swap over real fast. Sorry. There it is. The 1906 Reserva Especial. This is a premium dark amber lager brewed in by Hios. I'm probably destroying that pronunciation. Sorry. Hios de Rivera Brewery in Coruna, Spain. And I've had this for the first time when I went to Valencia to do some fireworks business.
Oh, okay.
And the owner was like, "You like beer? Then this is the only beer in Spain for you." And it's incredible. It's a 6.5% dark amber, nice and bright, creamy, dense, foamy head. Oh, it's so good. It's the flagship dark lager of the Hios de Rivera brewery. Super good. And I thought, why not have this one as we go through the rest of the beers?
Perfect. Can't wait to have it here in a second.
Okay, so now we go to Sweden, and we're going to Mariestads Export. It's an export lager, full-bodied, probably more full-bodied than most Scandinavian lagers. So that one wins on that. Yeah.
1906, very good.
Oh, it's the best.
Very good.
It's quite awesome. Way better than like Estrella Damm and the kind of, quote, run-of-the-mill lagers.
Yeah, this dark lager, though, just hits just right, though.
Yep. Switzerland, we're going with Feldschlossen Original. It's a lager.
I believe it.
Switzerland's market leader. And we're going to go in Turkey. We're going with F.A. Pilsner that dominates the Turkish beer market. I'm going to leave it there because on the next pod, I will do Africa and the Americas and Oceania.
Okay. All right.
Oceania.
You know what we completely forgot to do throughout all of this, Ron?
What's that?
I have to find. We forgot to do the.
Well,
we're not used to the hosting and recording and the soundboard duties.
you know what the good news is?
What's
in
that?
the edit, you can just put it in.
That's fair. That's fair. But I want to do it like real time with the board. The board all colorful here and it lights up and that sort of thing.
Hey, it doesn't matter how you do it. It matters that it gets done.
That's fair.
And a little peek behind the curtain. We just taught Ferris how to record and edit the pod.
Yeah,
so this is his maiden voyage.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this one goes.
So send all complaints to Ferris at thebrutifulgame.com.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Cheers, my friend.
Cilantro.
A good
Cheers.
old Spanish 1906.
All right.
Sorry, it's named 1906 because that's when the brewery was founded.
Man, they clearly know what they're doing because they're still in business.
Oh.
And it is
God, that's good.
good.
It's only better with a meat and cheese plate,
Oh, that sounds phenomenal right about now.
right?
But the amount of beers from all of the countries and the naming of that is forget how influential it is to the game and a lot of these countries when they're going to go out and watch games at all hours of the day because of being played here in the States.
And how many I've not had yet.
I know, right? There's so many out there. All right, let's take us back into we'll shorten this up with the last half of the pod here with the La Liga's roundup. Kind of like what Ron was going with. We went with 16 host cities and with their top rated local brew according to beeradvocate.com was. So we're not looking at what the top rated beer in the state is. It's where the top rated local craft brew in the host city or a suburb of that city.
Right. So cities, not countries, not states.
Exactly.
Right. I'm doing that in the beer news for this pod and the next pod.
Yep.
So this one, as local as we can get,
As local as we
in
can
that
get.
city.
Exactly. All right, so I'll do everything here in the States, and then Ron will cover Canada and Mexico and Atlanta, Georgia, from Wrecking Bar Brew Pub out of Atlanta's their own Mexican Siberius Maximus, which sounds awesome.
What a great
name. An 11% Russian Imperial Stout with a beer advocate score of 98.
A Mexican Russian Imperial Stout.
Yeah, I know, right?
Whip ass.
That was the first one that I kind of looked up, and it looked great. Going on from that, Boston, Massachusetts, we have from Trillium Brewing Company.
Always a good one. Always.
I've definitely heard of them. I don't know if I've ever been, though.
I've been twice.
Have you now?
Yeah.
Have you had from Trillium out of Canton, Massachusetts, so it's a suburb of Boston? It's their Headroom, an 8% hazy imperial IPA with a beer advocate score of 100.
I don't think so.
Oh, do it, the old Headroom, next time. All right, from Dallas, Texas, Lakewood Brewing Company out of Garland, Texas, again, a suburb of Dallas, but it is their Bourbon Barrel Temptress, an 11.3% sweet milk stout with a beer advocate score of 97. You're getting a theme here with a lot of these higher rated beers, higher percentage,
Right.
and towards that stout category.
Yeah. Bourbon Barrel Temptress. Name I used to dance under.
I bet you did.
Guadalajara, Mexico is next up on the list from Grupo Modelo, owned by AB InBev and brewed in Toluca, Mexico. We're going with Victoria, the Vienna-style lager.
Interesting. Okay.
Versions of this beer have been brewed since 1865. That's a bit of time, right? Wasn't that American Civil War, right? 1865. And a beer advocate score of 70. You know how you can tell I did that one?
What?
I did all the history of it.
Yes, you did. 100%. 100%. All right, moving back over to the States, but not too much further. We have Houston, Texas, the Lone Pint Brewery out of Magnolia, Texas, a suburb of Houston. It is their Yellow Rose, a 6.9% American IPA with a beer advocate score of 98.
Nice.
Only a 6.9. Might be one of the lowest ones we got on here. Kansas City, Missouri, from Boulevard Brewing, which I have been to, out of Kansas City, Missouri. It's their Rye on Rye on Rye, 15% rye beer the Beer Advocate score of 95.
That's
I did not have that when I was there.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, because I did not want to have, when we went there, it was towards the end of the night, and I did not want to have a 15%er to put me to sleep. Los Angeles, California, from the brewery, if I'm saying that right, out of Placentia, California, a suburb of Los Angeles, up there in the northern part of Orange County. It's their Black Tuesday, a 19.1% American Imperial Stout with the Beer Advocate score of 100, our second 100 on this list.
Nice.
Miami, Florida, from a brewery that we've heard of and know here, J. Wakefield Brewing out of Miami. It's their I Let My Tape Rock. A 17%.
What a great name.
Yes. 17% Imperial Pastry Stout with a Beer Advocate score of 100. Our third now in a row.
From Monterrey, Mexico, or in Monterrey, Mexico, from Cerveceria Moctezuma Brewery out of Baja California, Mexico. Owned by Heineken.
Okay. Yeah, whatever.
Tecate, founded in 1890. Their lager is 4.5% ABV with a Beer Advocate score of a respectable 61.
Yeah, sure. We just had two 100s and follow up by 61. Good Lord.
It's respectable. It's above 50.
So. That's fair. All right. Out of New Jersey, from Magnify Brewing Company out of Fairfield, New Jersey, a suburb border to New York City, kind of like what Rutherford did. One is more north on that border, one's more south on that border. It's their Peak Oil, a 9% Imperial IPA with a Beer Advocate score. We're back up in the 90s, baby. 95.
I'm starting to think that Beer Advocate is a little slanted towards
anything Imperial.
Right?
Yeah, right. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, from Tired Hands Brewing Company out of Ardmore, PA, a suburb of Philadelphia. It's their only void single origin Ethiopian coffee, a 10% American Imperial Stout with a Beer Advocate score of 97. Going over to California, San Francisco, from Cellmaker Brewing Company out of Berkeley County, Berkeley, California, a suburb of San Francisco. It's the Vastness of Space, a bourbon barrel aged, an 11% American Imperial Stout with an Advocate score of 98.
Only the Imperial
Stout it seems
list?
like it. Yep. Hey, we get this one next in Seattle, Washington, from Fremont Brewing Company.
Good one.
Out of Seattle. It's their Coffee Cinnamon Bee-Bomb, a 13% American Strong Ale, the Beer Advocate score of 100, our fourth on the list.
Out of from Toronto, Canada, from Steam Whistle Brewing, right nestled in the heart of downtown Toronto. It's Toronto's largest independent craft brewery. Steam Whistle is the beer. It's a European-style Pilsner known for strict adherence to, Ferris, do you remember the name of the German purity law?
Reinheitsgebot.
There you go. Beer Advocate score of 79. I want to try that one.
I think it's in the 70s, not the 60s, like the other ones. All right, out of Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada, from Four Winds Brewing Company, our last on the list here. Delta, out of Delta, British Columbia, suburb of Vancouver. It's their Nectaurus, a 5.5% wild ale, but with a 98 Beer Advocate score.
All right.
Those are your host cities. Those are your beers. Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Guadalajara, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, Monterey, Mexico, New Jersey, Philadelphia, San Francisco, Seattle, Toronto, Vancouver. If you're in any of those cities, visit one of these breweries. Go get yourself a top-rated beer.
And if you can't remember because we read them fast, ask us for the list.
Or
we'll
do that little
email you the
scrub
list.
thing on your podcast player where he goes back and you listen to it.
Yeah, but if you're going to hit more than one,
Yeah, that's
right,
fair.
just get a list.
That's fair.
God, that'd be great, right?
And that has been your La Liga's Roundup.
All right, so, I mean, we only mildly went over on this
Yeah.
pod by, 44 minutes or something.
Yeah, something like that. by about 35 right now.
You got a Zlatan quote?
Sure.
While you're looking up the Zlatan quote, I'll do the housekeeping. And the housekeeping is leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Untapped, where we put all these beers that we try, and leave us a comment on the old social medias. Tell your grandpas, tell your grandmas, tell your second cousins twice removed. We're always looking for some more audience, and if you do leave us that nice little review, take a screen grab, send it on over to us. We'll get a magnet and a koozie in the mail to you. All right, Ferris, got yourself a Zlatan quote?
Sure. I think I do. I gotta be careful with some of these. Okay. Zlatan on being born a star talent. You were born as the one you are. I mean, destiny. Yes, there is destiny. Some things are made by hard work, but quality you don't learn. Quality you are born with.
Okay. I can take that.
There's only one Zlatan.
Because lions, they don't recover like humans.
Okay.
That's all I got for right now, because the other one I don't think I can read.
Genius. I guess that about wraps it up.
Oh, what's the beers of the pod we had here?
Yep.
Go over that?
That's where I was just headed.
Okay.
Beers of the pod. We had Crawl.
Yes, we
the
did.
Pilsner from the Czech Republic. And then we finished up the pod with just my favorite Spanish beer by
That's
far.
good. It's going down rather quick and rather smooth because
1906 lager, dark amber lager by Hijos de Rivera Brewery. And I'm so sorry for how badly I've butchered the names on this pod.
Yes, the whole thing. I mean, we're talking 48 countries in this World Cup. That's a lot of players,
Lots
lot
of
of
drama.
beer, a lot of drama, a lot of weather, FIFA, you name it.
Don't forget your wet bulb globe temperature.
Absolutely. And we'll make predictions on like who's going to win it all, top goal scorer, golden boot, that sort of thing. We'll do that on the next pod when Blake's back. But thanks for joining us, and Blake, safe travels. And hopefully listen to this right before or after the U.S. game, and all we can say is...